All right, so welcome to another behind the scenes video. I got a lot of requests to make a breakdown of the non-world renowned Harvey Beaks cover. Now, some of you might be wondering, hey, Densle, what is Harvey Beaks? To which I say, wait, you don't watch cartoons? Come on, man, what the heck? Harvey Beaks is a Nickelodeon cartoon created by a guy named C.H. Greenblatt. It's about this bird named Harvey and his two friends of indeterminate species, Fee and Foo, who go on both small and big time adventures. It's a cute ass show. I'd really recommend it actually. And it has a theme song composed by EWQL, I hope I'm saying that right, that, as you might have guessed, was fabulous enough to warrant me to drop everything that I was doing and make a gross adaptation of it. But you're here for music and a director's commentary over top of said music. So let's begin. So I actually did this originally on an old computer. I managed to recover the old project file, which was both great and not great because upon opening it, everything was broken. All the tracks didn't work, and I lost all this audio and everything like that. But just the connections to it, I was able to get that all going, and life's pretty good, I guess. Because now I can actually do this. And it actually plays, which is bananas. So, this was produced in Ableton Live. It has a total of 17 tracks, but I'll get to those a little bit later. So you might imagine, the original track is down here actually, and it is about a minute and a half, but I wanted my version to kind of stretch out the feel that the original had going for it. The original track is about 50 seconds of buildup, 20 seconds of climax, and then 30 seconds of like decay. So I just kind of took that structure and mixed it around a little bit. So my version now has 50 seconds of buildup, 30 seconds of cooldown, 40 of another buildup, about a minute of climax, and then a 30 seconds of decay / cooldown. First and foremost, I did a bit of a different bass line. It's kind of the same, but changed a little bit from the original. Then this violin up here kind of swoops in and starts laying down some of those hot notes. The motives behind this was kind of like, it sounded cool, so I just kind of rolled with it. Obviously, these chords don't come up in the original song, but I'm not here for accuracy. I'm here for emotion. Then down here we have these lady vocals of that cool. I was not about recording myself doing that, so I used some lady VST. She sings like this throughout the whole track. But looking back, she probably could have used a little bit more reverb. Then percussions up here yell for a little bit of attention. Because I love percussions yelling for attention. And then all the way up top, we have some harps and a violin playing the main melodic element, which is that arpeggio? Is that the name for it? We're going for arpeggio. So in the original, it's like two different distorted vocals singing together. I just slapped in a harp and a Mark violin, and that did the job for me, so I just rolled with it. And then at the very top, we have the piano doing the beeping melody. Because in the original track, it's kind of like an 8-bit beep synth thing that's doing that. Ego, if you're watching this, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your song. And that plays till we transition with these three sounds down here: a cymbal, a drum roll, and a gong. I use these things almost religiously when doing transitions because they just sound really nice when transitioning between different sections. And so these are used to kind of transition us into the kind of second half of the build-up, which is essentially the same thing again, just with some cellos, double bass, and these drums down here, and the gongs and drum roll and everything else in between. Which then brings us into it's literally just the synth, some drums, and a choir. Yeah. I have them named The Chilled, which I would assume is short for the child because some previous version I used a child kind of choir set and it sounded like butt, so I changed to a full choir. And there's some violins playing some sweet notes. But then the song hits you with that lamb spicy thing that starts playing again. We let that kind of play out for a little bit. And that kind of brings us into the... So then we come to this section, which is a second buildup, but as a two-parter buildup. There's this kind of softer opening, and the big things here are the kind of violin and harp that are doing something different from the rest of the song. So this part is kind of me trying to spice things up a little bit. Instead of playing the regular way that lamb sample bit, I try to do something a little bit different. And what better way than to, I don't know, do that. This loops a few times, and each loop we add some other structural element like cellos or the crowd favorite violin. And the bass that doesn't change, and percussions are all the way, they're letting you know that they're still here. And our lady Karen down here at the very end kind of whispers some sweet lulls into our ears before we get to so now we've reached the creme de la creme, the reason everyone's here, the big finish, but it's technically still a build-up until this point, and I will explain why. To get to this section, which is still kind of a build-up, it's a stripped-down version, or a slightly altered version of the intro sequence, with kind of a slowly crescendoing structure to it, I suppose. The original at this point kind of had like everything blasting and going off at the same time, and then hits you with the main melody again at the very end, played on, I don't know, a kazoo. No, the original plays it on like one of those toy dulcimer things. And the beeping synth 8-bit beep. So all the instruments are kind of doing their own thing. The piano is hitting these chords. Making it sound more grand. The harp is doing I don't actually really know what the harp is doing, but it's doing some background fill. You can actually kind of hear it a little bit, or in my quote-unquote original. The choir, cello, and double bass are doing what they've always been doing. Which is essentially what they've been doing for the whole song. They're unchanged the whole song. But what really elevates this portion are the violins, the percussion, and the synth down here. See, the violin is now going from hitting single notes. And then it doubles again to kind of build up more tension. It just kind of repeats until we get to this section. But under that, we have the percussion, which is now 3 layers of drums: the palm drum, drum, and the toms. Sounding super epic. And under that is this synth, which is essentially doing the same notes as the one above it, but an octave higher. So we have the top one, and then the bottom one doing the same thing, but it's just, all this happens until I pivot most of the higher octave instruments, and by most I mean violins, harps, and this piano up here play the sweet tunes. But then at this point, the choir kind of lets us know that things are, you know, slowly wrapping up to an end here. And then we get to the only thing that stayed the same from the original was the fact that the main, you know, beat melody thing that's played by the pianos remains, and kind of the sparseness of it, and the fact that it's losing elements as it progresses. So this is layered up into 3 different layers. We got top guys, the middle guys, and the bottom guys. Doing the bass line as well as the, you know, our transition trio. It kind of eases into that ending section. And it's beautiful. Well, it's good enough at least. So I kept what I thought was the essential instruments to keeping the emotion and energy going. And I kind of cut it all off to let the main melody have its ending space around here. Listen with the bass continuing. You know, just to keep it from being boring, I guess. The piano doesn't have any reverb on it, but I'm pretty sure it did in the original. Ooh, yeah, I had a lot of it.
Dude, everyone left already.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that, more or less, is it. Took parts from the original and just rearranged them, and then added a couple tidbits to, you know, spruce things up a little bit, I guess, in my own fashion. And then I whipped up some vector artwork for the video and the album cover, and I spat it out to you guys. But I digress. The show was really awesome, and I'm kind of sad that it's over. And the original song is super sweet, and I wanted to see if I could recapture what it was, but kind of in my own style. Listening back, I'd probably change some things here and there, but I think overall I was pretty happy with the outcome. Could I say the same thing for my other music? Nope. I'm looking at you. Insert song that you, the viewer, don't like that much. But again, I digress. Thank you for watching this behind the scenes breakdown, director's commentary special edition video. I hope it showed you something cool, I guess, or something. If you'd like me to do this for any other track, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I like doing these. I think they're pretty cool because I don't like passing up the opportunity to talk about music. Go listen to the full track. It's an oldie, but it's a goldie.
Dude, everyone left already.
Oh, really? Okay. this cool badge. Now I'm basically an adult. The baby has now become the babysitter.